Hi, my name is Kevin Connor. Today I'm going to be talking about BIM in the construction industry. I'm going to go further into what BIM actually stands for. I'm going to talk about its benefits, its applications, and how it's changing the way we look at the construction process entirely. As we go further on into the presentation, hopefully you get a better understanding of it as well. So what exactly is BIM? Well, BIM stands for Business Information Modeling. And what that is exactly is a type of software that construction companies have been beginning to implement to help streamline the life cycle and take the bulk out of any unnecessary steps that may have been taken in the past. Some of those include, teams, rendering, scheduling, and what this can do is help create a better, safer environment with a larger return on investment. Some of the features that BIM includes is it helps reduce the costs, it improves collaboration and communication, clash detection, it provides safer sites for the workers and management and the people that are going to be using the building after construction is done. It creates a higher quality building if you can see what needs to be done clearly before it has to be done, then you can build a better project. And then almost one of the most important things in a construction project is a return on investment, which BIM allows you to do. Has a lower risk value, and as we know, profit is what keeps construction companies going and projects going. And if we can have a large amount of profit with the lowest amount of cost possible, of course, people are going to take that option. But as the presentation goes in further, I'm going to go into all of these different features in more detail, just so you can get a better understanding of what BIM exactly is. This is just a slight overview. So here I provided for you a little bit of a visual representation of what BIM is and the features it provides. I'll quickly go through some of them. It gives you a better coordinated approach to every project. Allows for teams to understand what needs to be done and how it has to be done, which is a faster project delivery, which, of course, if it saves time, it saves money. You don't want to be on a project more than you have to. It gives you a virtual simulation as well as a virtual model of the building before ground is ever even struck. This is great because it allows everybody to understand what has to be done, what the building is going to look like, if there are any errors or conflicts between teams or construction processes, say with electrical or plumbing or framing, anything like that. It allows us to come across those errors beforehand, so we don't have to deal with that when the time comes. And of course, that would spend more time. It allows for safer job sites. It allows you to see if there are any errors in the construction design or if there are going to be any unsafe areas. It allows for you to mark those and make sure that everyone is safe, because of course that's the most important part in any construction project. Collaborative design is great because it allows for one line of communication between everybody. They can communicate in real time to make sure that everybody is under the same understanding of what has to be done and how the building project is going to be completed. It allows for budget reliability and then better life cycle building management. Even after construction is done, it allows you to manage the building, and if there are any changes that needs to be made during or after construction has been completed, BIM allows you to do that as well. Okay, so in the next few slides, I'm going to be going over the features and applications that BIM has, what it allows us to do, and the benefits that it provides for us. All right, so one of the most important features that BIM allows us to do is modeling and visualization. The picture to your right, as you can see, looks like a photorealistic picture, but it's actually just a 3D model rendered to look like that. Some of y'all are probably pretty familiar with AutoCAD or maybe even Revit. Well, this is one of the things that BIM allows us to do. It allows us to completely visualize the project before you ever even have to visit the site. You can make instant changes, modifications, And all these plans would be updated in real time to any team working on the project, so they can see what has to be done and what maybe been changed, and there's no fear of miscommunication in any of that aspect. And as you can see, it produces photorealistic images, and you can even do walkthrough simulations with some softwares to allow you to look like what the building's gonna look like through the person's eyes as they go through. It's a very good selling point for companies when they want to present to a buyer of their design. Okay, another great tool that BIM allows us to do is communication efficiency. With BIM being electronic and not a set of paper blueprints, if there are any changes that were to be made during the design process or the construction life cycle, it'll be automatically updated in real time to all of the teams involved during that particular process. It allows for a better collaboration between the design teams and the GCs or CMs. Um, if there are any changes that were to be made or any errors that have been found, uh, there's a better understanding of how to get around those errors and solve those problems. And then each objective can be relayed through both the owner as well as the contractors. The owner or the buyer could see in real time what's being done without having to go to the site itself. Um, you can split it up into teams, whatever, from the landscaping to the electric work to the framing to the groundwork. Anything that has to be done, you can split up and know where exactly everybody stands in the construction process. Well, as you know, scheduling is one of the most important aspects of any construction project. Before ground is ever even struck, there has to be a correct and clear schedule of whatever has to be done and when it has to be done and who's doing it. Well, BIM is allowing us to actually do that more efficiently now. There's this thing called 4D BIM modeling. It's a process that allows you to link a 3D or 4D model to a scheduling sequence and allows the contractors and owners and engineers and even designers to see what's being done in real time to mitigate any errors that they might come across beforehand, and allows for a more efficient workflow process of the construction project, which of course goes back to saving time, saving money, and it's a very important part of any construction project. All right, forms of BIM. There are many different forms of BIM and different softwares. There's AutoCAD, Revit, SketchUp, and we're going to be going into a little bit of what that is exactly and how it's affecting us today. AutoCAD, of course, I'm pretty sure all of us are familiar with AutoCAD. It's a 2D and 3D design software. It's adopted by almost every construction company. It's great for development of blueprints, plan views. 2D images created in AutoCAD can be imported into three-dimensional models, so you can get a better understanding of what it looks like. It's used by architects, engineers, interior designers, landscape architects even. It's just a great tool overall and very easy to use. Autodesk Revit is a more advanced 3D modeling software. It's used mostly by architects or engineers. It builds precise 3D models that the owners, the designers, the GCs can see what their building's going to look like and what construction process is going to be done into it. It allows for teams to update plans as the project develops. It has a work sharing feature that if there's any changes in the design or any errors or mistakes or clashing from teams, it allows that to be easily communicated through all the parties involved and allows them to solve those problems as efficiently as possible. And it gives complete modeling of all the construction areas, from the duct systems to the wiring to the concrete all the way up to the ceiling. Allows you to see what exactly has to be done with a very clear model. SketchUp is almost like Revit, just not as advanced, I believe. It's a 3D modeling software, it's mostly used by landscape architects, uh, interior designers. You can easily share models, you can update models, you can import AutoCAD plans into SketchUp for a 3D model of that plan, and it gives you walkthrough animations. I like SketchUp, it's just not as advanced for me as Revit is. Now, the cost of BIM and the software is usually on a annual subscription-based model. Some of them range from the low, 200s all the way up to, 300-400 a month. Autodesk Revit goes for $23.10 a year if you wanted to do the entire subscription annually. SketchUp $700 a year. It just depends on the features that it's providing for you. It helps companies save money, and it also allows for companies to make the most out of what they have. Cost assessment's a huge part when it comes to designing and planning. There's this thing called 5D planning. Budget planning is automated with that. It's a great tool that BIM has allowed us to utilize. It allows for faster decision-making processes, improved collaboration among stakeholders. You can make real-time changes to quantity takeoffs, and it gives you accurate cost estimation and forecasting of what is going to be spent on the project to eliminate any unnecessary costs, which of course raises the profit of a project. Safety, of course, is the number one priority when it comes to any construction project. As we all know, construction ranks number one in workplace accidents in the US right now. Well, BIM is allowing us to decrease those numbers. There's many tools it provides for us, like visualization through 3D modeling. It helps us seek out possible safety risks before construction starts, eliminates potential hazards through 4D scheduling and collaboration between contractors so there's no clashing, allows builders to be better prepared to complete each task, and it can help run safety simulations. This allows for a better and safer workplace environment. So to conclude, I'd like to say that although BIM, it's a newer approach to how we look at the design and construction process, it's a relatively fast-growing practice, especially here in the United States. We've actually pioneered it, like I said before. Many countries like Canada, Australia, the UK are adopting this practice as well. They're seeing the light, per se. They're understanding that it's allowing for a more efficient and safer approach to how we look at any construction project, and the United States is leading that charge. It helps cut down costs, it has better safety features, better communication features. With BIM, you're allowing faster building rates, so you can get projects done quicker, you raise your profits, you decrease your costs. And this is something that we haven't ever seen before. And I believe that going into the future, BIM is going to be used by almost every construction company in the world. There's higher possibilities of reaching the intended goal and maximizing performance. And it's just a great tool and a great practice that we've seen come within the last few decades. And I believe going into the future, it's going to be the way to go. All right, well, that's my presentation. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, go ahead and leave me a message down in the comments and or send me a message, and I'd love to talk about it with you further. But other than that, that was my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a great day.